Yeah, so there are many which we did, but I think one of them is we did for our employees called Take Care HCL. It was very simple, but we did uh, series of actions there where we communicated anything and everything around COVID, because the first priority was the safety and health of our employees, and that's why this campaign started sometimes last January and early February, because every week there was new story emerging right from some part of the world, and therefore we decided that it is very important for us to create this leadership cohort who will look into this particular COVID matter and how should we go about it. And that's where we created this campaign called Take Care HCL, where we tied up with John Hopkins Hospital. We had our sister concern HCL Healthcare. So we had experts from there into that group, and they started giving their expertise on how should we communicate, what should be the all the guidelines we hear about, how to manage COVID. Under the umbrella of this campaign, we started taking that communication out. We ensure that all the HR teams across multiple countries and geographies are on the ground doing one-on-one with all the employees. And with the help of HCL Healthcare, at least in India, in Chennai, Noida, and Bangalore, which are our large centers, we created those last mile help for employees. Some of them needed ambulances, some of them needed to because a lot of young employees travel back to their hometowns, and some of them fallen sick of COVID-19, and they did not have facilities of best hospitals. And that's where this last mile reach out one-on-one programs really helped us to identify those. You would have read about the story, right? Within 48 hours in Noida, we set up that communication center, which was leveraged by district magistrate of Noida, not only to HCL but to hear from the all the Gautam Buddha residents to say how they are coping up. So HCL became the first line of defense. It's difficult to pick one, but I believe from if you look at it from employees' lens, employees was always looking for job security, financial security, sense of belongingness, sense of care from organization, so to say. I think that needle has not moved. They're still expecting same thing, perhaps. What they have been expecting pre-COVID. What has really moved is the other side of the table, which is the leadership. Uh, I think, and I'm not talking about HCL, but industry on whole, you would have never seen such leadership connect ever, perhaps. The engagement level, if you do a survey today, perhaps it will be in high 70s, high 80s, which is unheard of. Leaders also felt that, the first response to deal with is to ensure that I talk to employee with a lot of clarity, with a lot of authenticity, and make him feel the safe and secure. And that was the common theme, and that's why I was reading this very interesting article where somebody said that the CEOs have suddenly become chief empathy officers. A lot of people are showing a lot of empathy because they realize it's an important tool. It's not only about, and my bottom line and top line is only going to matter when my employees are feeling that okay, company, they're taken care of, they're not falling ill, they're not falling sick, and second, they feel the belongingness, they feel that company is taking care of them, and therefore they should take care of the company. Ultimately, each generation will have one or two attributes which are very unique to that generation, but there are some things which resonates with all of us. The purpose, for example, if the organization is purpose driven or not, does it has meritocracy or not? It doesn't matter whether you're a baby boomer, Gen X, Gen Y, or Gen Z. All of us want meritocracy. All of us want our ideas to be heard, right? All of us wants an equal playing field. So I think when you create an AVP, there has to be an overarching thing, and then everything else, whether it's policy or processes, all of that need to resonate that theme, so to say. And so for us, we have a very simple thing. We call it an ideapreneurship, which basically tells that your idea will decide your altitude in this organization, right? And then we have given them different ways and means to register their ideas. We have those internal programs. In fact, we have our own seed fund where every year, the teams come together, they germinate an idea, they seed the idea, they present the idea to the larger forum, And the idea which wins, it gets some sort of funding from the organization, and they go ahead and create that internal project. People go and file the patents against it. So ideapreneurship is what resonates with all the section of employees. As I said, the generation will have their own needs. Like Gen Y perhaps want things to be done faster, to be done, change the roles faster. Baby Boomer perhaps would like to stick to the same thing and perhaps exit with the retirement. Gen Z will have different things. They would like to see what is your online reputation, perhaps. You need to have your own elements which resonates with all the generation, but there has to be an overarching theme, because at some level all of us have the same needs, right? Like Maslow said. So keeping that in mind, you need to ensure you're a purpose driven, you are equitable, you are meritocratic organization, and which resonates with all generation.